same kind of OSs like MQT and DBus, Android, QNX, QNX, iOS, Green Hill Software Integrity OS. These are all the OS which we are used in the automotive industries. It is also used in BOSH to run the softwares in above the HMI applications. Yeah, we can say this is having the not only the OS, we have system IPCs and a display server or window managers, graphic libraries like OpenGL, EGL, and if we need to run our application as a touch based, then we can use the touch drivers, event handling, and connectivity related things. Like connectivity means we can connect through Bluetooth. Those kind of things are already available in the software platform. We need this platform to run our applications, different kind of applications. Based on that, we can use this platforms. Riser is the applications we are using. Yeah, next is the services. We have hardware and software platform. Above that, we need some services like interface kind of things to connect between the application and the software platform. So for that, like if we want to hear audio or we need to see some video or FM, or if we need to do some Amazon Alexa, we know, right? Or Android Auto, which is already used in most of the cars nowadays. So these kind of things we need to play. I mean, we need to see it in a screen. Then that needs some information, that needs some interface to connect between this application and the software platform. For that, we need some service based. So those kind of services which we are which we can say it as a connected services, we have it, and we have a navigation map engines which is also provided by these vendors already. So media, radios, diagnostics, whatever the services services are needed, which is already used in the services layer. Yeah, next is the HMI application framework. We know that this is application layer, but we can split it into two subcomponents. Like the HMI application, which is here, application is a configurable one. Like anyone can write a application and we can run it. But below that, we need some base framework is needed. Which is needed to like we don't want to bother about the base libraries and things like which is more complex, which is already there in the HMI framework. We just need the libraries and we use it for our application, and we need to specifically implement our HMI applications, or we need to configurable we can create our configurable things in the HMI application. So we no need to write all complex things in the HMI application here. So for that, we need some framework. So here we have used some frameworks like Qt, Android SDK, CGI Studio, Consi, EB Guide, and IAR and React. There are so many things are there. We can call it as a HMI framework. They can provide us the base layer. We can say it as a base layer. So above that, we can specifically implement our applications. So there are so many vendors are already available in automotive industry to provide us the frameworks. These are all the vendors. Yeah, next thing is main thing like HMI applications. So HMI applications, so we can say like there are so many applications nowadays. We can see it in our car dashboard, car cluster. We can say we can see that the speed value, the dial is running, that some kind of RPM meters. We can say the clock is displayed, and there are so many things, menus, scroll bars, and some applications like media, my vehicle information. There are so many applications are there in the HMI also. As like GUI, we can see this. There are so many applications. So these are all the applications like radio, speedometers. There are not only in the cars, we have a health monitor system also. We can see nowadays in this. There are so many. There are so many application services there in that display itself. So there in boil monitoring and control systems also we have the application. Nowadays we have a smart oven, smart refrigerators. So we can touch and use this application as a very user friendly one. So these are all the specific applications, and here also we can see not only the 2D applications, we can have a 3D kind of applications also there in this. So we can do that, and themes, layouts, events, message handlings also there in part of HMI applications. Like if we trigger something, if we click some button, then it needs to be display some menu. Then those kind of event triggering, this is also part of HMI application. And there is application logic texts. Maybe we can see we can see that application in different languages if we want. Then multivariant, like variant also, like if we create one application, then we can change the variant also, like the entirely different appearance we can change. There are so many things are there in the HMI application. Not only in the car or two-wheeler bikes, we have it in more applications. Yeah, these are all the coding languages which we are used already and using it now. So these are all the examples. Actually, this session is about only the high level info. What is HMI and how it is working in the normal architecture, and where we are using the HMI applications. So yeah, this is the one. Yeah, these are all some pictures, like it is running it right. Yeah, this is how it is. We can run it again. These are all some screens which is which the HMI application is already developed and used. Yeah, these are all the monitors, and this is touch. We can see these are all the car dashboards, medias, and the speed is running. Yeah, everything. Can we move on to next slide?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is about the HMI architecture. Just a high level overview. Yeah, next we can see. Yeah, next we can see is anyone have any doubts?
Ma'am, here in the architecture, the OS, is it, does it change based on the different kinds of application?
Yeah, yes. You mean the OS you're asking, right? Yes, we can.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
depends upon the OEMs, the customer. Maybe they can prefer some OS, and we can also suggest some OSs which is feasible for them, and maybe some cost effects and feasibility, performance related. There are so many factors are there. Based on that, we'll decide, and customer also gives some suggestions. So based on based on the developers and the customer, then we can come to the conclusion which we can use and which is more feasible and flexible. Then we can use different OSs. Yeah.
So the whole stack, which in the architecture, so it's kind of customized to the application.
Yes, right.
So maybe the hardware, the software, the services, the whole of this.
Yes, yeah, we can.
Okay. So this is too abstract as of now.
Yes, yeah, we can use anything.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Can we move on to the next one? Anyone have any doubt? I will share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, next is the HMI application components. Actually, these are all the components which is mainly we are using in the HMI applications. We can say maybe some kind of names might be different, but these are all the major components which is really needed to implement our HMI applications. So we can see what are all the things inside the widget framework and the state machine. Yeah, okay. This is the agenda. Like we can see what is, HMI and in MVC. MVC is a model view controller architecture pattern and how we are using in HMI this. Then next one is a widget and overview and examples we can see, and framework and the examples and state machine and the applications. These are all the just overview of the what is what. And upcoming sessions, we can see the elaborately and what is about the widget and framework and how they are using it. And we can see some demos also in that state machine and everything. Yeah, we can see the overviews. Yeah. Yeah, this is the MVC. We can see the model view controller. We can see the view part is we already known. Whatever we can see it in our eyes and displays, then we can say it as a view. And the next one is a model. Model is a data logic. We can get the data from the. I mean, we can say wherever we are getting the data, then that is called as a model. I mean, we can get the data for to display the data in the view. And then the next one is a controller. That's the brain of this model view controller. Like it controls both view and model. Like controller, we can say it is an interface between the model and view. It can manipulate using the model component, interact with the views to render the final output, and we can see it in our eyes. Like the controller will take the data from the model and it will pass through this data to this view. Then we we can just see. I mean, in view we can render the content and we can see this kind of content in the display. Yeah, this is the whole rendering part and everything should be comes under view, and it is solely responsible for display. And model, we can say it is only it is responsible for the data. It can transfer the data to the view as well as in the controller. Controller decides which data should be displayed in which place. Yeah, I mean which data to be displayed to the which view. This is how it will be work in the HMI. Yeah, this is how it is. This diagram we can see it. Yeah. Then what is widget? Widget is a graphical control element. That means we can say one, okay, we can take an example as a speedometer. It is a graphical element, we can say. Then this display, this speedometer, and when it needs to be changed, like from 1 to 2, then how it needs to be changed and when it needs to be changed. And how maybe the one value is different and 2 is different, and which position and which color it needs to be displayed. Those kind of information will given in a dynamic way. Yeah, such as we can say not only the text, we can say the scroll bar, images, and everything we can control with the widget. It is a dynamic way of controlling the element. Widgets, we can say it's a software component of the GUI. It interacts with the system. We can give the value at runtime and it will change accordingly in the display during runtime. Yeah, and widget is a configurable one. Maybe we can make it as a dynamic or static way also we can implement with the widgets. It's a reusable modular components. We can use the same widget to the different kind of applications. I mean, we can use the same widget for the to display speedometer and the RPM values or clock. I mean, time. Everything we can use. This is a reusable modular component, and we can develop the complex functionalities with this widget. There are so many list widgets, scrolling events we can do, and there are so many position updates at runtime. Multiple position updates we can do, and we can change the multiple colors. So there are so many complex functionality also already there in the widget. It's only responsible for the display. I mean, it comes under view part. Yeah. Develop well-defined user interface. Like we don't worry about that. We don't worry about we don't want to stick in one color. We don't want to stick in one position. And we don't want to stick in one one image. We can change multiple things at the runtime. So that's why we can call it as a well-defined user interface. We can develop it. Yeah, animations also we can do, like from one screen to another screen we can play multiple animations, and we can change the position of data from data one from position 1 to position 2. Yeah, so many things we can do with this widget. As I already told, we can see this as a core cluster image. This is we can say this 405 kilometer is a text, So we can change this text. This is not a static one. While we are doing, we need to change this range kilometer based on the fuel also. So this will be updated through widgets at runtime. I mean, we'll feed the value from model, and we'll passing the value to widget, and widget will render this value. I mean, that Cantra engine will, I mean, that view part will render this value at runtime itself. As like text images also, we can change it at runtime. Yeah, this bar graphs. Bar graph is not not a static one. Based on the RPM, it will move from 50 to 130. So that also we can achieve through this widget. Yeah, yeah, this is a CGI. The another thing, like widget have so many properties in it. Like if it is a text widget, that means we need to change this 106. Then we have text. That means what text we need to display it. We can change it at runtime. Style we can change, size, color, alignment, word wrap, line spacing. These are all the few properties which is there in the widget. But we can have more properties than this update in the runtime. Yeah, it's a text calculated speed by ECU, and by ECU we can through model we'll receive, and setting the speed value, it's a widget output, and the text will be rendered by render engine in view. This everything is comes under view part. This is actually before this is the one which is used in the CGI widget. That means I already told the framework which there are so many frameworks available. We can use it for our application development. So this is the one which is used. That means this is the one framework which is used called the CGI framework. This is another framework that is a Qt widget. Here also same thing, like this is not a core one. This is a one which is used in the washing machine. We can have here we can have image under the progress bar. Based on the user button click, this it will start, and inside that where there are so many options inside that. We can start the animation if we have already set the sports as a option. We have already selected. So this is the animation will be running in backside, and it will be moving based on the progress bar. Like once we get started, it will start moving it, and once it will bend, and it will be fully covered. This progress bar. Here also we have a color, minimum value, maximum value, range, target value. There are so many things are available in the progress bar widget properties. Yeah, so far we have seen how what is widget and how it is used, and how much it is helpful for displaying the dynamic content in display. So far we have seen in the view part. This is also view. But it is about the framework which we already told, right? There is one layer under HMI application, that's framework. Okay, why we need first of all the framework? As I already told, we don't want to bother about the low-level programming, like because low-level programming is common for all the all the applications. Like I can develop some speed application, someone has developed some time application, someone has developed some menu application, but we don't worry about the low level functionalities. Like we need only the libraries to display our view. The view is different. The speed value, RPM, speed view, RPM, and menus, media, anything is application which we need low-level functionalities. That means libraries. So we'll take only low-level functionalities from framework, and we'll implement only high-level functionalities of the applications. We don't worry about this low-level and focus on high-level functionality instead. Yeah, high-level functionality in the sense, yeah, it's more specifically and configurable one depending upon the applications. It's a specific one. So low level means it mostly a generic one. It provides all the basic functionalities. Maybe we can call it like if we need some render engine. So if we need some render engine, then we do render engine is needed for all the applications like speedometer, RPM, media or menus, my vehicle information, for everything we need some render engine. Then only we can see that value in the view. So these are all already available in the low level functionalities, which is already there in the framework. Yeah, abstract. We can say it is a abstraction of the render machines mechanisms, and provide a skeleton for an application. Yeah, it already given some skeleton. So above that only we are going to implement our specific applications. Yeah, it makes developer job easier, right? So like we are not depending on the lower level functionalities. We don't want that complex functionalities, like right? So we can just focus on our specific applications. So it is easier for the developers also. Applications are more reliable since it's a actually it's the base functionality is same for all the applications, so it's a more reliable. If you want to update something, then we can only update the base level. I mean, base level application, it is common for all the applications, so it's more reliable. So without framework, if we are going to implement some applications, it is not that much generic one or reliable one. It is not that much easier because we need to implement more complex things, and it is not common for all the applications. So everyone can develop their own low level functionality. So it is not the correct way to implement our applications. So we need one framework application. Yeah, so for I already told in widgets, right? There are CGI and Qt. So I have some model for CGI. This is one of the framework which is already used, which we are using it also nowadays. The CGI as a part, we can have more subcomponents inside that. This is the pictorial representation of the CGI framework. This is also have a PC hardware. These are all just pictorial how it okay, system level how it will be working. As we already know, there is a hardware. There is some abstraction layer. We have some OS. This is the software platform. This is a hardware platform. And above that, we can see there is a HMI application framework, right? So this is the important part, which I already told, right? This is a view. It comes under view. So it has the assets, widgets, animation, everything, and the Canva engines. We can render our applications. Above that, we have a GUI applications, and these are all the other components which CJ will take the okay which CJ will take the inputs from this kind of inputs, like this is photoshops. We can take the images or text from this, and this is a development software. That means we are going to develop here. This is our code, maybe the C++ code or any other Qt code or anything. Then we'll just sorry, not Qt code. We can say it is a C++ code. Then this text here we can take as one image, and here we can take as a logic, and here we need to display the content based on this. I mean, here we need to show the image based on this input. I mean, based on this code. This is the CG Studio environment. Yeah, these are all the framework tools already available in market. So we have already seen in the previous presentation. Qt, Altia, React, Unity, IAR, Android, Rightmer, Conzi. There are so many things. As I already told, based on the customer requirement and based on the feasibility study, then we can take it as we can use this frameworks. Yeah, next to part is the state machine. State machine is the one we already seen view part in MVC. We already seen so far the framework and which it comes under view part. State machine, which is comes under the controller. So a state machine is a system that performs the actions depending on the state of the machine. Like here we can start. This is one starting point. These are all the loading, error, normal. These are all the states. This is simple example I have given here. This transition 1, 2, 3 or even triggers, then this is the endpoint. So we'll start with some trigger. Then after that, it will go to loading. Then after that, when this state machine receives the transition one as a event trigger, then it will move to normal. If the transition 2 is the event trigger, it will, 3 is the event trigger, it will move to error. Then until then it will be remains in error. Once it will receive this transition 2, it will go to loading. This is the way it will be working, state machine. I think we already known about the state machine somewhere, but how it is working, this is also needed for a implement HMI application implementations. So these are all the state machine is required to control our applications, because we have multiple screens, multiple regions, and multiple contents artifacts needs to be displayed in the screen. But it need not to be displayed in at a time. All the content need not required to display in at a time, and it is also not possible. So for controlling of the elements, for controlling of the screens or elements or datas, then we need the state machine. Then only we can we can complete our HMI application. We can see it as a error-free one. Yeah, without the state machine, we cannot we cannot do the HMI application. Only one screen we can show it, but not the multiple screens, and multiple content needs to be displayed without this state machine. Yeah, these are all the state machine notations. This is actually a IAR visual state machine. Also, we are using. We are having more vendors. So based on the requirement, we'll choose and we'll use this state machine part. Yeah, we have it like there are so many notations are there. There are history state also. We need to maintain some last screen if the cluster will be off. Then once we came into car and we'll start the engine, then we need to see the last screen. What is my last screen, which before KL15 off? Then we need to store it in history state, and we need to maintain this. Yeah, there are some high priority information needs to be displayed to the user. Then we need to be displayed at from any point of time. So if that will be closed, then what needs to be displayed? Those kind of informations and all available. We can save it in this history set. There are so many transition curved, orthogonal. There are so many transitions available. And we have a simple state also. We have composite states, because in menus and all we are using the composite state, not a simple state in always. So we have a selections, and we have a join fork state also. Connector state pair also is there. There are so many notations available to draw our state machine diagram, and with that we can show our view. Display. Yeah, this is another a simple example, because even for checking temperature, we need this state machine. Then only it will be more reliable, and it will be more user friendly also. If without this, we can't. We can't implement an application. We can't develop our application without this. Yeah, so it's a initial state. This needs to be like we need to handle all the negative and positive use cases. Then only it will become a reliable one. Yeah, it's too hot, then it needs to be go to cooling. It's too cold, it's to be heating, and this is the way it will be. Sorry. Any doubt? Okay, yeah. And from heating, it should not be any state should not be the indefinite one. Like it needs to be end somewhere. Otherwise, the state machine will end up on some crash, or something will not work correctly. So that is why all the cases are needs to be handled here. See, if suppose we are in heating mode, a heating state, then what needs to be done if it is too hot? Then still, then if we are in cooling state, if we are very cooling, too cold, then what needs to be done? The next part. And from the heating, if it is already at temperature, then what needs to be done? It needs to be stay in the ideal state. So all the actions all the events, all the based on all the events, we need to draw our transitions. It needs to be end somewhere. Like here, the ideal state is the end and the starting point. Okay, the next is a CJ framework with application components. We have, okay, the CJ framework, how it does, how we can, pictorially, how we can represent the view, model, and component with the CJ Studio framework. There is a Cantra engine, widgets with property. These are all comes under view part, as I already told. And data model with entities, we can say this is a, this is the way, this is the one we can say it is a model component. And in controller component we can say which we are seeing before, the state machine is comes under the controller part. Yeah, these are all the applications which is there in the IAR system visual state, HMI Studio, MATLAB, IBM Raspberry, EBKite. There are so many vendors are there for the HMI controller also. Yeah, here models we can see the we can say it as a SQL database, AutoSor, RTE. There are so many things. AutoSor, RTE, which is which we are using it here. So this is the one which is more reliable for automotive industry, so which we are using it. Yeah, these are all the references which is there in this slides. You can also gone through and you can get more information about everything. Yeah, maybe frameworks and how it will be and everything. Yeah. Any doubts so far?